Hi, everybody. Today is June 24th, 2024. And this is my today's update of my video journal, trying to recover from the trauma of losing my brother, Paul Kierans, on April 23rd, 2024, at Burnaby General Hospital, 26 days after my appeal was dismissed of the appointment of my 81-year-old nun sister as Paul's guardian. The law in British Columbia is that in the cases that I've reviewed, no non-resident of BC has ever been appointed a guardian or a committee, as it's called in BC, of a BC resident. And there's very good reasons for that. So what happened was apparently on April 13th of 2024, my brother had a stroke. The day after my last conversation, I was allowed a 10-minute telephone call with him once a week. And I spoke with him on April 12th. So on April 13th, apparently he had a stroke, but my sister didn't arrive in BC until April 15th. And once she was, my 81-year-old nun sister from 4,000 kilometers away, who's never lived with Paul or I, was appointed the committee, mainly because she's got more money than God. She looks better on paper than I do. Anyways, so she didn't arrive for 2 days after. He could have easily died alone. As it was, he died without me there. I was allowed a 10-minute visit with him once a day under her supervision. She's truly an evil person. It's quite hard to cope with that. But today is an update on what's happening, and I'm waiting to hear back from the Supreme Court of Canada. I applied for leave to appeal the decision appointing my 81-year-old nun sister 4,000 kilometers away in North Bay, Ontario, as my brother's guardian. So you can see the reason why the case law does not support appointing people from outside of BC as guardians, because they can't be at the person's bedside if anything comes up. And that's exactly what happened here. My brother's group home initiated his termination of visits with me. I was his last living visitor in the Lower Mainland. And the group home, L'Arche, please Google them, L'Arche. It's a cult started by two SEXPREDATORS's, Jean Vanier, a retired Canadian naval officer, and Thomas Philippe, a defrocked, excommunicated Catholic priest who had been excommunicated by the Catholic Church. So going through my files today, I came across this. It's a picture. What Paul and I would do on our visits is I would draw whatever he asked me to. So it could be like Superman or Batman or Joseph or Obi-Wan Kenobi. And Paul would color. It would be like a coloring book. I would do the outline in black and Paul would fill it in. He would color it in. And this is Jesus walking on the water, or quelling the ocean. I noticed that I believe in the gospel this week, it was about the Jesus quelling the waves. The apostles woke him up and told him that they were going to drown, and he quelled the waves. So here is a picture that Paul and I did together of Jesus. You can see he did a very good job, I think, of coloring in. You can see the water. I did the water in the background. Or he did the water. He colored everything in. But I just thought how beautiful and appropriate that Paul and I are both devout Catholics. I believe that my sister had the medical staff kill my brother. They sedated him to death. He appeared to be recovering from the stroke. And then all of a sudden, when I brought on a court application to restore our visits, I walked into the room and my sister, the nun, I don't really want to call her my sister, the evil nun, said, "Say goodbye to Paul." She didn't look me in the eye. She said, "Say goodbye to Paul, he's dying." And he died shortly after that, although he had been, as I said, recovering remarkably well. All of a sudden, after I received the doctor on the ward came to talk with me. I assumed to tell me they were going to kill him, and I believe that's what's happened. So I just thought I would share this beautiful picture that I came upon today. I'm trying to find a law firm to represent me in my suit against L'Arche and the Sisters of St. Joseph of Sault Ste. Marie and the government of British Columbia, public guardian and trustee. And the secretaries and the paralegals that I've spoken to, they say, "Oh, we're so sorry," and they express their condolences, but I just feel numb. I haven't cried. I'm just frozen. I believe that there's too much work to be done to make sure that the government of British Columbia is never allowed to abandon and pay for the isolation, confinement, and torture of another person. That's what it felt like. Paul and I mean, even federal prisoners are allowed visits with their loved ones, with their family members, with their siblings. And Paul wasn't allowed to visit with me, I believe. So they were afraid that I was going to ask him for a sample of his signature to prove that the document they were relying on was a forgery. But anyways, so I expect to hear back from the Supreme Court of Canada soon. Pray for us. Contribute to our GoFundMe account. And by clicking on the link in the description box for this video, and copy and paste the email that I'll put in the description box for this video and send it to the decision makers who can make sure that no poor family is ever put through the torture that Paul and I endured in the 588 days that he was isolated and confined to his group home, L'Arche, the cult L'Arche. As I said, Google them. Google Jean Vanier, Vanier, Jeanvanier, and L'Arche, L'Arche, so you can see the kind of cult that our government is placing our most vulnerable citizens with. Thank you, everybody. Paul, I miss you so much. And this was a beautiful, beautiful picture. Thank you for leaving it with me, dear.